Good morning, everyone. Week 7 now completed on the training plan for the 50-mile ultra in September. We're entering a new phase now of the block, so it's a sort of lactate threshold type of work. So before we get any further, I'll just show you some clips of some highlights of the week. See you in a bit. So Monday was the first run of the week. I went with Matt, a fellow runner from Denby Dale, and we went over and did a recce of leg 5 of the Calderdale Way Relay, which is organised by Halifax Harriers. A superb event. It's my 4th time of doing it. I've loved every one. They're hard, hilly, but that's what you get when you're over in Calderdale. So we're doing leg 5. We had a great morning, just recceing the route, and we'll look forward to the run on Sunday. Tuesday was a club run, and we had an AGM, so it was a shorter than normal, though we still got about 8 miles in, I think, to be fair. I went a bit earlier, and I got some little bit of speed work done just to prime the legs and start this sort of little phase of speed work. I think I did some 2-minute efforts, and I did some 400 meters, not the full sort of 10 by 2 minutes, which was down on the plan, but I got a bit of work done beforehand and then did the club run later that evening. Just a nice way, chatty run, and just nice and easy as well on the legs. Wednesday had a rest day, and then Thursday was a sort of tempo and hill repeat session. I sort of changed it a little bit. I started off, did 3 1-mile efforts at around about 7-minute mile pace, just controlled efforts, just to sort of like a tempo-y sort of, not all out by any means. And then had a break, and then instead of doing the sort of 2-minute speed sessions, bearing in mind I've got a race on next Wednesday, and the Calderdale Way, as I've spoken about, which is a bit hilly, I did some sort of hill repeat work, and I did sort of I did some 2-minute efforts, I did some 1-minute efforts, I did some 30-second efforts, and finished off with some sort of a 15-second. So a really good evening, hard work, but a really productive evening. Even my Garmin liked that for the first time in a long time. So, so we're making progress. So Friday and Saturday, I had to sort of forget the running. We had other commitments and some visitors for the weekend. Sunday then I penciled in a long run locally on the trails here, and it was all about sort of time on the feet. It wasn't about distance or anything. It was all about, so I went out for just under 16 miles. It was about, in running time, just under 3 hours, 2 hours 50 or something like that. No pressure, just time on feet, as we say. Things were going really well. I was testing out some nutrition, and sort of at the 10-mile mark I was feeling great, and then I went over on a curb again between sections on the trails. Second time I've gone over on the right ankle, so it's the same one that I went over a couple of weeks ago, and that knocked the sails out of me, I have to say. I had to sit by the side of the road for a few minutes. Really sort of tender. I struggled in the next 2 miles, and then I got home, and then the ankle swelled up again. So yeah, really annoying. Curbs send, I don't know what it is with that. I don't know. It's very frustrating. So I've been I've had to sort of protect the ankle again. Lot of elevation and ice work, and then we'll see what happens next week. But with a race on Wednesday, I'll definitely won't be running for a couple of days, and we'll just have to take it, and we'll just have to roll on. But that's just the way I am. I am clumsy, and that's there's no two ways about it. So anyway, I'll see you next week, and hopefully things will be a little bit better with the ankle. See you later.